Well, for more on this, I'm joined now by the man you saw in that video, Nigeria's Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa. Great to see you again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed for making time to talk to us, because I know you've had a long few days.
Right.
And the problem for you that I see, because I mean a lot of people see quite a lot of sincerity on your part. I mean, we saw you on television just a minute ago, the clip we used there, a call by you for Nigeria's borders to be completely fenced.
Yes, I reason because, you know, having gone through my analysis and looking at the Sahel, now I always mention that because the Sahel is open, we have a bunch of lunatics, so to say, that have no regard for anybody. And these are the guys that have come and have inculcated these individuals that are doing this killing. So to them, if you are not with them, you are better dead. The main attraction to all these terrorists and bandits is Nigeria, because this perception that Nigeria is a rich country. And that it's that there's no law to prevent them from getting in. And the borders are porous. So now the easiest way is, and that's why it's important, if you follow the news and see the kind of killings going on in Niger, Chad, in Niger, Burkina Faso and Mali, so much. If this continues like this in the next 1 year, there will be issues. I know of recent, there were attacks from Burkina Faso in Benin Republic. It's just 50 kilometers to Nigeria. That is another area. So for me, I think, and like I mentioned, all around us, we have Francophone countries. Our ideologies are not the same. For us to be secured, it is important. Let us fence our borders. Some people say, look, it's expensive. But I say, what is money if you are dead?
Indeed.
It's of no use. So countries that have sat down and have analyzed and seen that, look, strategically is important, because once you fence that area, you use technology now. You have cameras, you have drones that will go. It reduces the manpower you need to engage in that area, and they could be used elsewhere. So that's important. And besides that, now for Pakistan, they use wire mesh. Double wire mesh for all that distance. So if the distance is 1,000, they use double, which means 2,000. And then use concertina wire at the middle, so that even if you penetrate here, before you get through here, you are seen and action is taken. That has given them respite. That's what we are looking at. We have Ajaokuta steel mill, we have rolling mills in Nigeria. We could engage them, we don't need to go anywhere. We just tax them from here, they can produce what we need, and then we deploy. Now you see the level of employment we're going to, opportunities we're going to bring in building those aspects. And the most critical one for us now, even if we were to start, let's start with Nigeria and Niger.
Is that the most dangerous?
That's the most dangerous, because the Lakrawas, that's where they're coming in.
Yes.
The Boko Haram that are coming in from the Sahel are coming, the ISWAP guys are coming in all through those areas. So that's why it's critical. If we start from there, and we can start state-wise, at the same time, each state will start on its own, and before you know it, we're there.
Yes, and that's a good point. It doesn't have to be just the federal government.
No, it doesn't have federal. It could start at every level. But the important thing is, look, we have a threat that we have to really, really look at. It is very critical and it's very important.
Well, I mean, you are at the very highest level of the military. I mean, have you made the suggestion to the president?
Yes.
I mean,
yes,
you pick up the phone and you call him, do you?
I don't call the president. I meet
Okay, you meet him in person.
Yeah, definitely,
sometimes.
yes.
Because, I mean, apart from the fact that, as you correctly identified, that it will be hugely expensive, because, I mean, in that video, people probably didn't see it, but you talked about how long the borders are. I mean, you're talking about over 1,000 kilometers all around. And so you're looking at...
The whole of Nigeria is about 4,000...
Yeah, 4,000 something kilometers. But again, you know, we have some areas... each border has 1,000 something kilometers.
You know, we have some areas that are riverine, so that one you don't need to do that. You just need to maintain some patrol. So it's not all... but the important thing, we'll start with the most critical aspects. And that's very critical for us.
But what kind of reaction are you getting to that suggestion at the very highest level?
I can tell you it's been very positive. I mean, I was amazed. I thought I was saying something that people were going to go crazy, but... You know, my soldiers down below called me and said, thank you, sir, that if it means cutting out our salaries to do that, we want that.
Well, people are suggesting, based on what you said, that instead of cutting the salaries of the military, who we need, why don't they stop that Lagos to Calabar highway and put the money there? So that because, I mean, what you're saying is critical.
Yeah. No, well, I'm just... trying to buttress the fact that even the soldiers down below think it is critical and it's important for us to do that. I've met, people have sent to me, look, during my researches, I wrote about the borders, I talked to people about it, and people laughed at me and said it was impossible. I have people sending me their projects on when they have discussed on this issue. So it's been ongoing. It's also that a lot of people didn't have the opportunity to actually say it. So bringing it out, I think, created a lot of avenue and a lot of discourse on it, and which I think is right. We look at the issues and see. If we think doing a concrete war is what, we look at wire mesh, but we must protect our borders. And the idea of putting manpower all through is not possible.
Right.
Definitely we can hold that.
Well, we're fast running out of time, and I know you're busy, so we appreciate your being here. But let me ask you a fairly political question, if you don't mind. I mean,
politics.
Do you think the kind of insecurity that we're seeing in that middle belt zone and in Borno State in the northeast, for example, calls for a state of emergency, perhaps much more justifiably so than River State?
That's politics. I really don't want to go into that. But all I know for real is that what we are facing are man-made problems. If man is ready to solve them, there wouldn't be problems. So it is for us to really look at these things sincerely, sit down and address them. Talking together to each other, we will find solution to what's going on. And it's not difficult.
Yeah, and as you're looking at people, I mean, groups like Boko Haram and ISWAP, which seem to be resurgent, whereas in the recent past, one of the things we're told is that the groups were fighting each other and killing themselves. We're told now that that infighting has stopped, and this is why they're able to forward face the Nigerian military and the public.
The infighting
is that a fact?
No, the infighting is still going on, and the Nigerian military, in fact, in all these countries, it's only the Nigerian military that has been taking them down. So far, within the Boko Haram commanders and Delis, we have killed over almost 80 of the commanders. But the problem is the borders are empty, people are infiltrating, there is a lot of poverty right from the Sahelian region. The whole of suffering from Sudan, Central African Republic, cutting down up to even Mali, and all this Mali and Libya is open. Free trade of weapons, no leadership. So that's why it's easier for these things to infiltrate down into Nigeria.
Right.
And that's why, even with the killings, as you are killing, more still want to come in. And then there's poverty, there's illiteracy.
But there also appears to be improvements in the use of technology by the insurgents.
Also, definitely, and that's why we're talking about the foreign fighters. We had information about some other ones coming to give, because some of them also go for foreign training abroad, and then they want to use technology, drones particularly.
Right.
We have had reasons to see them use drones. But again, after the initial, about 5 weeks ago, that we had those setbacks, we have re-strategized our operations, and now they're on the